Hello and welcome to another edition of Eye on Port, the program that has been specifically designed to bring Ghana's port and maritime industry closer to you. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, Goyle Company Limited, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link, and the Meridian Port Services Limited. This program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Viewers, we had a discussion in studio with an assistant commissioner in charge of transit at the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, as well as an official with the ECOWAS Commission, and they told us all about the SIGMAT system. This SIGMAT system, when rolled out, is expected to enhance customs to customs communication as well as trade facilitation. The following story will tell us more. The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority in the first quarter of 2023 is expected to begin the use of SIGMAT, an ECOWAS customs interconnection project that aims to improve regional integration by automating transit procedures in the West African sub-region. SIGMAT, the regional customs network for transit trade, began pilotage in 2019, and in December 2021, the various heads of state within ECOWAS adopted a supplementary act on ECOWAS community transit, which binds all member countries to implement the system. The SIGMAT system, which is already being operated in some francophone countries, is expected to enhance customs to customs communication, improve data collection, facilitate trade, and secure revenue.
West African countries used a convention known as the Interstate Road Transit of Goods, ISRT, which is a paper-based or is a manual-based transit system which operates in ECOWAS countries. So for quite a while, ECOWAS has been looking at leveraging on ICT to reform the transit regime within West Africa, to improve it and to look at how to make it more efficient than it is. And as Peter explained, SIGMAT is an IT solution for the exchange of transit messages between customs administrations based on the interconnectivity of the National Customs IT system. So SIGMAT is an ECOWAS product which was launched in 2019. And as at now, the vision of ECOWAS is to get all ECOWAS member states, all 15 ECOWAS member states, connected to SIGMAT. I must tell you that transit trade, even though it is an internationally recognized trade, but because of the uncertainty and the dangers which are inherent in the transit operation, there is a lot of fear, and all countries endeavor to put in place several measures to secure the revenue and also to ensure that security is also maintained. By so doing, trade is slowed down, the cost becomes very high. At the end of the day, the final cost is passed on to the final consumer in the country of destination. That is against international convention. The fact that they don't have, Burkina Faso doesn't have a coast doesn't mean that they should suffer. They should be able to make use of the coast, the Ghana coastline. So at the end of the day, what SIGMAT does is to generate confidence in the transit trade and secure revenue.
As it is now, if you take a country like Niger, it is producing a lot of onions. But to even export the onions, it must travel all the way from Niger, maybe to the Tema port before, and the cost involved. And so the system is such that those countries that are landlocked, or those goods that are not going to be consumed in Ghana directly, there should be a regime that will allow its movement. And so it is transiting. It is going away from Ghana. So those goods, we do not exact duties on them. And so when we say SIGMAT, we are saying that how do we facilitate the movement of these goods.
According to the Assistant Commissioner in charge of Transit at the Customs Division of GRA, Peter Antobre Ofori, Ghana's Customs Administration has taken advanced steps to enroll onto the SIGMAT system.
What the ECOWAS Commission seeks to do is to allow for automation of all the customs administration in the sub-region.
Right.
And so right now, there are certain countries that are yet to automate their system. A country like Liberia, Sierra Leone, and even Zambia. And Ghana and Nigeria, we changed our systems from GCNet to ICOMS. And so when we changed the system, we had to restart everything.
Right.
So presently, Ghana has not been able to roll that thing out, but it is in the process.
Right.
Now we have limited communication with Togo.
Okay.
And we have also a roadmap designed with Côte d'Ivoire. And constantly we are meeting to ensure that we roll on.
The head of the Division of Tariff and Customs Procedures at the ECOWAS Commission, Felix Kwache, revealed that processes have been undertaken for a community guarantee mechanism under the SIGMAT system.
When goods are in transit from the office of departure or from the point of departure to the point of destination, the guarantee or the bond that is issued to cover the duties and taxes to have a coverage enough to cover the entire length of the transit transaction. So for instance, goods arrive in Tema destined for Niger, Niamey. What it means that the goods are going to go through Ghana, go through Burkina Faso before they reach Niger. And even in Niger, the duties may not be collected at the point of entry, but it will be collected inland. They will escort the goods right inland to their main office, where the duties on the goods will be paid. Therefore, what we are looking at is to have what we call community guarantee mechanism.
Right.
Where if a guarantee or a bond is posted in Tema, that bond is valid throughout Ghana, throughout Burkina Faso, right up to Niger. So the bond here covers 3 countries.
The officials indicated that this measure and more taken under the new ECOWAS regime are all geared towards checking cargo diversion.
It reduces diversion.
Right.
Because presently, there are certain business people, certain agents who have found loopholes in the present system,
right,
and they are diverting goods. What they do is they try to fish out the tin numbers and the names of importers abroad.
Okay.
And then they use them to import the things. And so they put it under transit.
So the goods arrive in the country as though it's meant
going
for
on
transit.
transit.
Okay.
And then somewhere along the line, they find a way
of retaining it in the country.
Retaining it, and that brings about unfair competition.
Absolutely.
Because if someone is smuggling and another person is paying duty, they cannot all sell at the same.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so what SIGMAT?
The one that smuggles will sell at a cheaper rate.
At a cheaper rate. And meanwhile, the government is not going to benefit anything because
the government will not collect duty.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it's a serious business that the ECOWAS is doing, and it is to enhance cooperation among the sub-region and also enhance custom to customs fraternity.
Right.
It will be easy for us to, or for let's say Ghana and Togo to exchange information about goods whose movement is doubtful.
The SIGMAT system, according to customs, will come at no extra cost to importers and exporters in the sub-region. It is now time to pick a few comments on the subject that was just discussed from you, the viewers. This one is from Benjamin, who called from Taifa, Burkina. He asked, do those plying our transit corridors make any contributions for the construction of our roads? I'm asking because a lot of the road damages are caused by their heavy-duty vehicles. Well, Benjamin, our customs official said this could be one of the sacrifices countries bear while staying committed to the regional agenda for trade facilitation. Coastal countries like Ghana are encouraged to create the avenue for trade, such as access to road infrastructure to landlocked partners. Ibrahim, a clearing agent from Tema, has a complaint. He says customs officers at the Paga border on some occasions are able to confirm closing transactions to allow for passage, only for the contrary to be true a week after, creating outstanding transactions. A fault, he says, is in theirs. For the past week, our company has been blocked and we have not worked for 3 days, he said. Hello, Ibrahim. The Assistant Commissioner in charge of transit at Customs admitted to the possibility of such events. He says that may come as a result of customs officials attempting to facilitate trade manually when internet connectivity is unreliable and failing to finish work when internet is restored. He indicated that sometimes customs officials are overwhelmed with so much work, ending up in such situations. He said, however, that blocking is a necessary action often used to check diversion. This one comes from Mamduhu Yunusa on Facebook. He says, this program is incredible. Thank you, Mamduhu. We are happy to educate and update you on happenings within Ghana's port and shipping industry. All right, that is all we have today on the transit trade. In the future, whenever there are new developments pertaining to the transit trade, we will be sure to update you and inform you. I am Port Returns after this break.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Tell God, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance Motor Policy. Currently, my goods are on the IC, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Welcome back from the break. Now let us pick a few happenings within Ghana's port and maritime industry next. The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Lugoje, has confirmed the authority's support when it comes to implementing government strategy to block any revenue leakage at the ports of Ghana. He revealed that the modern conveyor system being installed at the dry bulk terminal in Takoradi will do away with any concerns surrounding the under-declaration of bulk cargo volumes received at the port.
Modern conveyor system that has been installed in Takoradi will let us recover from this fear of losing because of under declaration of bulk cargoes for exports. But that system, as it loads, will automatically calculate the volumes it is carrying. And for Tema, the Weighbridge project will help us for all our dry bulk cargoes that come in and also go up. And we are ready to support in this direction.
The GPHA boss also said his outfit will provide the government with its detailed input for the operationalization of the no duty, no exit policy initiative intended to block revenue leakages.
Issue of the policy of no duty, no exit. I think we have in our own discussions acknowledged that the ports are already no duty, no exit enclaves. They are already no duty, no exit enclaves, but maybe the methodology is what is now going to be new. Otherwise, that has been the practice in Ghana ports. And we are looking at that whole, having participated in the committee that drafted the implementation modalities. We are assessing them, and I think in the course of next week we'll be presenting some information to you to help in the way forward in this decision.
These assurances were made when the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, led a delegation to visit the Port Authority to strengthen collaboration towards finding lasting solutions to challenges associated with revenue collection at the ports. Present at the meeting were the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ameshadai Owusu-Amoah, and Acting Commissioner of Customs, Seidu Idrisu Idisa.
We try to tighten things, and things are a bit different. So, for example, what do we say? No duties, no exit. Obviously, it will be sort of new, and maybe it will create, some difficulties for the systems as you know them today. But if we look at the totality of what the country will benefit from, what adjustments then should we make? We've all gone to school enough to know that if we put our minds to something, it can be done. Okay, and the old ways are not going to continue to be the old ways. So that's a challenge. How do we collaborate, speak the same language, and realize that the resources that we have for the nation are a lot more than we perceive.
The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Dr. Ameshadai Owusu-Amoah, has revealed that the tax revenue performance for September 2022 was 7.4 million as against a target of 7.1 million. This, according to him, shows a positive deviation of 4.6%, which represents 29.8% of its year-to-date performance. Speaking during an interaction with the media in Accra, he said customs revenue also grew nominally by 29.8% for the same period.
Customs, particularly for this September, did very well and exceeded even the stretch target by 246 million. If you take the stretch target, their year-to-date variance was 274 million. And in September alone, they exceeded it by 246 million, therefore reducing the year-to-date variance by about 240 million, bringing it down to around 60 million.
The Commissioner General said the authority is implementing a number of tax policy initiatives to boost revenue generation this year.
We have introduced the GRA Taxpayers Portal, basically a portal that allows you to log in to see your own tax activities. Again, we have also introduced the electronic VAT invoicing. It's connected to the invoicing system of the merchants. And as the merchants trade, we see every invoice to the extent that we can even see whether the person bought 3 tins of milk or 5 tins of milk. We can see everything. And we have introduced a new SI stamp tax authenticator, which is also an app, and it allows you to use your phone to test whether what is on the bottle is genuine or not.
As part of the measures to improve revenue for the state, he said the authority will be piloting an e-auction module on the integrated customs management system.
Again, one of the things that people have also complained over the years is auction. And I'm glad to also announce that we have finished the electronic auction and it's online. And our target is that from 15th October, we are loading some of the items available for auction on this system as a pilot phase, and every citizen is free to go there, look at the vehicle, see the picture, decide on what you want to pay for it.
He said in order to achieve its revenue target for the year 2022, GRA is adopting strategies to ensure that all loopholes are sealed with the rollout of rigorous enforcement and compliance measures.
15 students from the Zambian Defense Services Command and Staff College have visited the port of Tema as part of a study tour to familiarize themselves with the socio-political, economic institutions of Ghana. These included students from Zambia, Rwanda, Namibia, Botswana, Tanzania, Kenya and Sri Lanka. They were received at the security department of GPHA, where they were briefed on the investments made to shore up security of the port and its environs.
There's this company called Variant School of Learning from Israel. They have reps in Ghana who give us quarterly training. Once computer system or IT knowledge improves, so if there is any development or improvement, they come and they orient us.
Deputy Security Manager at the Port of Tema, Samuel Ajete, indicated that initiatives embarked on by GPHA have yielded much result.
The strategy we took was to deploy our own men on board all vessels to ensure persons going on board, we have records on them, and then after close of work, we check them same down, so that at the end of every shift, we are able to detect if somebody is on board or somebody tried to hide somewhere.
Team lead Colonel Nelson Mwamba revealed that one particular interest of his outfit was to establish the synergy that exists between the national security and the port security.
So we want to see whether there is a linkage between the national security as well as the security at the Ghana ports. So with that, we are trying to see what is it that can emanate from the Ghana port security, which should be able to affect the entire national security.
Directing staff at the Staff College, Colonel Esther Molando, said she was impressed with what she learned.
It actually gives a big assurance that apart from the Harbour Authority, which is looking at issues of revenue, we have got this association, or indeed this part which is looking at security. It is very good also to learn about the issues of maybe stowaway and also goods that are smuggled in the country, that there are vigorous measures that are being put in place so that we don't have such issues. It gives us a lot of assurance, not just of course for Ghana, but also for Africa.
The managing director of the Port of Amsterdam International has led a delegation on a working visit to senior management of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. The visit, according to the group, was to intensify existing ties between the Port of Amsterdam and the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. The two parties shared their business portfolios.
When it comes to the cargo loading and offloading services are also provided by both ports in Tema and Takoradi. We have our own stevedores, and then we also have private stevedores that we have licensed to operate. And this generates a form of competition.
So we team up together with the private companies, with the terminal operators. But we are acting in the umbrella of creating a business environment which is attractive for other parties. So that's our role.
The parties also explored potential areas of cooperation, such as Green Ports Agenda, commercial strategy of the ports, and optimizing supply chain procedures, among others.
We are receiving some proposals from private sector to develop wind farms to be able to help generate power to sell to the port. Yeah. So we are discussing that, and I think at the national level that has become a subject of interest. A particular agency has been designated to coordinate all the renewable energy projects for the country. So I think that would be a very good area to learn, how far you have gone, and what kind of future preparation should be in place if we want to get there, what we should be looking at from today.
The meeting concluded with both the Ghanaian and Dutch sides hopeful of signing a memorandum of understanding to guide future business cooperation. Let us now take our lenses overseas and pick a few international shipping and maritime related news next.
Danish shipping giant A.P. Møller-Mærsk has ordered an additional 6 large ocean-going vessels that can sail on green methanol. The 6 vessels will be built by South Korean shipbuilder Hyundai Heavy Industries and have a nominal capacity of approximately 17,000 TEU. They come with dual-fuel engines able to operate on green methanol, which is expected to save about 800,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions annually. The 6 17,000 TEU vessels are all to be delivered in 2025 and will sail under the flag of Denmark. Mærsk said that the new builds would replace existing capacity in the company's fleet. Norway says it would impose limits on Russian fishing vessels using its ports in a further tightening of security following last week's suspected sabotage on the Nord Stream gas pipelines in the nearby Baltic Sea. Russian trawlers will now only be allowed to visit 3 of several dozen ports along the Norwegian coast and must undergo security checks when they do. Norway stopped short of imposing a total ban on Russian vessels demanded by some security experts and opposition politicians who have said there was a risk and more sabotage. Shipping companies received awards for reducing speeds in the 2021 Protecting Blue Whales and Blue Skies program. 18 shipping companies participated, transiting at 10 knots or less in the San Francisco Bay Area and the Southern California region. The shipping companies received awards based on the percent of distance traveled by their vessel through the vessel speed reduction zones at 10 knots or less and with an average speed of 12 knots or less. The 10 knot target complements the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's and US Coast Guard's request for all vessels to reduce speed to protect these whales from ship strikes.
Alright, for our Word of the Day segment today, we are focusing on transshipment. A transshipment is when cargo or a container is moved from one vessel to another while in transit to its final destination. It's time for the schedule of vessels that have berth in the ports of Tema and Takoradi. Those are the anchorages of both ports, as well as those expected in the coming weeks. Also, the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. This is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Iron Port. We hope you've been informed and educated. Remember, you can watch all Iron Port content on our YouTube channel, Iron Port. Please subscribe, like, and give us feedback. Thank you for watching.